Hey Fiore fitness athletes. So here we are at one of my local hills. Next up video, we're going to talk about steep hills versus not so steep. We're going to talk about different types of power hiking as well as running. But obviously, as you're doing this, you need to practice all of these techniques and see what works for your body and the terrain. For example, steep or very steep or technical terrain might be better with quick feet versus strides. Enjoy.
So we'll start out on a steep hill. This is mechanical advantage where you lean over, your head should be up and you're just pressing on your quads. This is great for long climbs and especially for technical rocky climbs. Now, if this is more of a longer but less technical, being upright lets your lungs expand. You still want your hips to be pretending like you have a rope around it and pulling you up the hill. And then of course there's running up the steep hill. This generally I only recommend for like shorter hills. Basically, if you can see the top, then consider doing this. But if you're revving up your heart rate, then consider just going back to a power hike. Then going into downhill running, we have improper technique, which I see this a lot where people leaning back, they're not really sure of their footing, and see how unbelievably slow this is going. And if you can even see my quads, really putting a lot of strain on there versus this quick intro and then slowing this down. So I'm leaning forward. I shouldn't really be able to see my feet. I'm looking at least 5 feet in front of me. My hands are out in either in a circular motion. This helps with your balance as you're going down. This is actually a pretty steep grade here. You can see my feet are always just planting down. Now going into a less steep grade, this is improper technique with your back up and then leaning up. You should be able to run a lot of these. And notice I kind of tap my hips to remind myself that rope around, pulling myself forward, leaning into the hill, much like what you do with your running. As you can see on here, I'm kind of just really jockling around, but then as I slow it down, I'm leaning forward. So especially on the less grade, you should be more striding. So again, leaning forward, and then look at how much of a difference that is once I actually get upright, putting less strain on my quads. Again, not really great technique. I'm leaning way too back on this video. This is just an example of power hiking on those grades in case it is long. And now notice that difference when I slow that down.